Qlash are going to play as we head on to Sovereign's Rise. It's time to jump on into game number 1 of this series. And Cyclone, there's a lot of big question marks around this team. I'm excited to see what they're going to draft here, because that will tell us a lot about how they are wanting to play, what style they're going to be looking at.
Yeah, and not only that, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the bans are going to be. Is Silvernail going to make his first appearance?
Yeah, very true.
That's one of the things we have to keep in mind pretty much all day, is that Silvernail is available for these players to play this weekend. So we could get him out on the Rise. I really hope we do. I want to see some of these top teams bring him out and start to make some plays with it.
Did Qlash not ban?
That's what it looks like.
I feel like Qlash has vetoed their first ban, which, I mean,
it means one of two things. Either they're specifically wanting to leave picks open,
I think so,
or they just weren't there for the first ban.
They were definitely there because they're all selecting mid and
Yeah.
CP. So I think they just want to leave all of the power picks open.
I'm surprised they're not all
honestly,
hovering Baron as well.
I'm just going to be completely frank here. This could well just be like disrespect coming out from Qlash. This is not a team that I'd be surprised to see disrespecting an opponent.
I mean,
they're all very vocal on Twitter. They're all a little bit arrogant.
That's why I said you either love them or hate them. Like, there are lots of people on both sides of the fence. So yeah, they were there for it. They were,
Saw first pick. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So Saw is not particularly meta right now. I think that's fair to say. Maybe this is a pocket pick coming out from Qlash. We'll have to see as the composition develops. But I think that Qlash are maybe coming in not necessarily respecting Cyclone, and I think that could be a serious mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cyclone is a team that could find upsets. Like, they are, even though, again, we don't necessarily recognize a lot of the names, they are still a strong team. Like, they're not going to be a complete pushover. Obviously, Qlash feels like anyone other than Queso is a pushover in their eyes, I would have to assume, because they handled their business against every other team in Europe in the preseason. So it could just be one of those instances where they're trying to hide things because they don't want to be showing Queso what the best that they have to offer. But
based on the last 2 picks from Qlash, I would say that they're not just trolling. Maybe this is a pocket pick because, Saw last year in 3v3, everyone was like, oh, Saw's a troll pick, and then suddenly it became meta for 2 weeks, and it was just destroying everything. So maybe Qlash knows something we don't. Grace, definitely a great pick alongside a Saw, because you can just use that divine intervention, keep him alive, and keep him rocking and rolling in the team fights. Definitely a lot of damage on the side of Cyclone, as well as the protection from Lorelei. So far, I'm definitely preferring the Cyclone composition.
Yeah, if looking at it just purely compositionally, absolutely, the Cyclone side looks a little bit stronger overall right now. Having that nice protection for the Kinetic and the Celeste, but Celeste is one of these picks that has been sort of falling off a little bit. We didn't see it at all in our previous series, but I mean, that kind of comes with a little bit of an asterisk next to it because you don't expect to see CP Baron over a Celeste.
Yeah.
Gwen going to come through for the side of Qlash, and Gwen's, again, one of those picks that has been really rising in popularity a lot. Honestly, a lot of teams have started to pick her up.
Gwen is terrifying right now. Like, I know there are a lot of really strong weapon power picks right now for your carry, but Gwen has been looking dominant. I've seen a whole bunch of clips on Twitter and things of people just annihilating with Gwen, as well as here in the VPL, we've seen some incredible performances, especially Shaded Talon on, PvP Warrior did an amazing job way over in North America. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do with this carry pick. I have to say, very squishy composition from the side of Qlash. You have to assume maybe this is going to be utility Saw, kind of the Saw port maybe role we could see coming through. I really don't know where they'll go with this one, honestly. But Reza going to be the last pick. I'm amazed Reza made it to last pick.
That's a lot of damage on the side of Cyclone as well. So both these teams opting for a lot of damage.
Very different to Series 1
Very,
of the
very
game.
different. I'm expecting a lot of very quick, explosive fights, but that tends to lean towards the playstyle that Qlash really likes.
It tends to lean towards mechanical skill, right? And you've got so much of that on the side of Qlash. Like, when you look at that roster, the biggest thing that jumps out is these guys are gonna outplay. In a game like this, where everyone's a carry, outplay is what matters the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with, again, carry like a Saw, you have to be on point with your positioning and the way that you're moving throughout these team fights, because you're not moving a whole lot. Unless you use that roadie run, you don't really get a chance to reposition at all. So you need to be on your game.
All right, we'll see where this saw is going to go in the game. It's time to jump on to Sovereign's Rise. Series number 2 here, Qlash versus Cyclone. We'll find out who can make it to the semifinals as I pass it back over to Humanist and Flash X for game number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are ready for our second series of the day. My name's Humanist. I'm joined once again by Flash X, and we got Qlash going up against Cyclone here, and we got a saw in this game, bud.
Super cool to see Cyclone back with another team. Qlash looking a little bit aggressive early. Qlash though, I think they're feeling very confident with the way they just drafted. I think they said, you know what? I don't even think they care what the draft was. They're just gonna try and win in style. And with the way this early game kind of engaged is going, Qlash, even though they might lose their Crystal Treant, definitely winning the damage trade.
Yeah, they're a very cocky team, and currently it's a 5 versus 3 situation where the rest of Agony and I'm the Doom take the other Crystal Treant, and Leon very low. We'll go ahead and Roadie run himself backwards to the zone, pops the healing flask, stays in position to apply damage. Justman as well, absorbing a lot over the wall. Noah able to take the first blood off of Qlash. Now, Agony, even the Drifting Dark, Malice and Verdicts hammering on home. It looks like the Drifting Dark will time out, but Qlash stay on the chase. All of Cyclone incredibly low. They'll lose their art, and Noah's down. He got first blood, but he was second blooded himself. Now, let the bodies hit the floor. Flash, we got 5 kills in 1 minute and 30 seconds.
This is what we're used to coming out of Europe. Lots of early game fighting. This is, I think, much more what we're familiar with. 6 now. The fact, though, that Qlash, for the vast majority of that engagement, was a 3v5, and they're able to turn that into a 4-2 kill deficit in their advantage. I mean, that's huge for them. They're looking for more. They find that weapon power Treant very early on. Leon not going to be able to get the shank for the kill, but Qlash has to be feeling very, very good with how those first few minutes gone. But yeah, cocky indeed, but certainly backing it up with how that early game went.
Backing it up for sure. And, you know, I think Cyclone, they did play the first minute well, but they should have realized that the other 2 of Qlash were most likely going to rotate onto them after. They just didn't quite predict that.
No, unfortunately, they didn't. Leon, what looks like, I guess in the mid lane, a crystal power saw. We don't really know. He doesn't have any underneath his belt just quite yet. Disowned there as well with 3 crystal bits. That could be a lot of damage coming out of Maline this early on. But Gwen in the bot lane picking up another great kill onto Noah. He's struggling here early on.
Noah rounded up, chopped on down. That'll put Qlash up 5-2, 3 minutes in, and now as the Crystal Treant respawns, Cyclone does make the rotation over. Disowned and Leon hanging around, looking for the snipe here from range. Leon, he'll drop the suppressing fire. Won't get it though. Silver Ray Lay, I like that name. Goes ahead to secure that up, and I think Cyclone have advantage here.
Cyclone looking to step it up. You know, they are finding a great counter invade. If they can get out this time with their lives, that's going to do them quite a bit of favor. But Justman looking to pick up some kills.
Justman just looking to pick up some kills, and that was actually, it felt too easy. I'm the Doom comes in with a buckshot, has the weapon buff, and just lays the hammer down. Silver Ray Lay just getting dropped like a sack of bricks. Young Novocaine looking to poke with I'm the Doom. I'm the Doom taking a lot of damage. Lelouch, Trouble makes his way over. Young Novocaine with the flash trying to get back onto the turret, will do so successfully. But you got to be careful over the rest of Qlash are over here. They make sure to secure up the healing Treant. They're going to get that regen. They're also going to take away the weapon Treant. And there's nowhere else on the map that you see Cyclone really getting any sort of trades. Like, they're trying to contest this, but they won't contest successfully. So a big fail on their part.
Qlash, oh my lord, looking so clean. 3K already in their favor this early on. If you are Cyclone, you can't be feeling very good. That, you know, they've had rotations to get the numbers advantage. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize, giving Qlash enough time to rotate, bail their teammates out of some trouble, and turn this game drastically in their favor. Saw though, Leon, what is this build? He went teleport boots and a block first. He's I don't know if that's the build you necessarily want to find the W's in this game, but with this much of a lead early on, I don't know if it's even gonna matter.
I don't know. I think he's a bit of a troll. I'll care if I start to see an impact on it. Right now, Justman standing his ground. Justman's been in the 2v1 this entire time, and he's just slapping him around right now. He'll take a turret shot for his trouble. Disowned over here. He's also trading out with Lelouch and young Novocaine. And consistently, these guys are taking the advantage in these trades, even when it's 2 versus 1.
Qlash feeling so confident. I mean, this is the type of confidence that you almost have to hope comes back to haunt them. But I'm the Doom on this Gwen is looking so strong right now. He already has Sorrow Blade with the double buffs. He's going to be dropping so much damage.
So much damage indeed, and it's really scary looking at this lineup. You got an all-star in almost every single position here. Qlash really put together one hell of a lineup, and that lineup is collapsing into this top lane, suppressing fire, and you just got wrecked. There's no was there a way out of that? It just not being there.
Yeah, definitely hard to watch if you're a Cyclone fan, especially with the way Qlash is playing. This could be a good engagement, though, with them grouping up.
Teleport in from Leon, and he has the reflex up immediately. Rhodey runs himself back. This is interesting. Drops suppressing fire as his team looks to move forward. Agony just hammering those Malice and Verdicts down onto Cyclone. Cyclone cannot handle the pressure here, and they'll be forced back once again to Qlash, taking the jungle, rotating right back into the mid lane. And the whole time, I'm the Doom stays down in this bottom lane.
He is farming for free, building up his lead further and further. Ghostwing online now. We've seen Qlash in previous weeks take this objective immediately. They really do it so well with how much of an advantage they have already. Dropping that bot lane turret, I would not be surprised if they looked for the Ghostwing very soon.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. They do have 4 heroes down in that area. Justman hangs around the top side of the map just to they kind of handle the D push that's coming out of this Kinetic. Kinetic will naturally just shove that lane forward if given the opportunity, and they don't really want to give any of that free gold away.
Okay, so we might have missed this. I guess all along I thought the Grace was going to be your captain, and maybe Leon's just playing it like a captain, but I think we might have a support Saw on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. It almost feels less like a defined role. Like I wouldn't need, when you have a team that is this good, you just have factors that you put together to try and win. And it's just providing a slow. Sure, it's not your typical carry. It's definitely not your typical captain for sure. But it provides something that his team can take advantage of. Right now, Cyclone, they're trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Justman, pretty tanky. Caught up in that fish food. One more attack from Silver Ray Lay will put him down. Now Leon and Agony are kind of flanking Cyclone in here. Cyclone rounded up, and it feels like a dangerous position to be in. They're against the wall here. Cornered animals, but cornered animal can be quite dangerous. Lelouch cops a lot of damage. Will be able to healing flask, and now they jump back in. They go on to Leon here, but the Oblivion from Agony peels just enough to trade it 1 for 1. Remember, this is a 3 versus 2 situation to start off with. And where's his team at? Justman finally making his way back into this lane. Looks like Cyclone will be able to get out of this one. In the meantime, Qlash hammering down pressure in that bottom lane. Holy crap, Samuel does fall. Cyclone taking 2 off of that engage. Now Justman on the chase. Justman 5 seconds. No, he won't be able to chase it down.
Young Novocaine on that Captain Lorelei, putting it to great use, finding some phenomenal fish foods. You got to feel good about that if you are Cyclone. The gold lead, though, 6K. That's quite a bit of a lead for Qlash. They have to be feeling super good about it, continuing to steal away all of these weapon and crystal buffs. I'd really like to see them drop this mid lane turret and go straight for Ghostwing. I think that taking down that objective is going to really allow them to extend this lead and hammer home the win.
Oh, mid turret down. Qlash do move into position for Ghostwing. We'll go ahead and start this up right here, right now. And it looks like Fountain will be the next item coming out for Leon. So Crucible into the Fountain, and it's going to be a pretty tanky Saw.
Tanky Saw indeed. Playing this Captain Saw, definitely something very non-traditional against the meta. Celeste almost stealing away the Ghostwing with that Solar Storm. Unfortunately, it's going to be Noah caught out and dead.
Agony actually picking up Frostburn as his second item here. Do you think this is the continuing of the troll tradition from Qlash, or do you think this is like an effective item pickup?
As much as I think it's the troll tradition from Qlash, if you want to look at it from an analytical standpoint, it has a little bit of synergy with the suppressing fire. You're now starting to couple a lot of these really powerful and impactful slows together for a comp that, like Cyclone has, it's going to be very hard to deal with. It's just going to come down to how they execute it during these team fights. But I'm the Doom, forcing 3 people on the side of Cyclone to respond to his bot lane push all by himself. Just Qlash doing a phenomenal job of creating these opportunities on all areas of the map right now.
Did take 3 heroes from Qlash to take down Lelouch as well, but he does fall, so obviously an advantage for Qlash at this point. Qlash group up in the mid lane here. Gold Oak will respawn. Agony quickly starts that one up for himself. And it's 14-5, 11 minutes in. Oh, Moline taking a kill. Wow, that was a bit surprising.
It was indeed. Meanwhile, I'm the Doom starting to hammer away some turret on that bottom lane, allowing Qlash enough space to take down this mid lane turret. Ace is high, connecting but blocked.
Nice block off there. And Ace is high in the last update. Ace is high was changed.
I think so. Yeah, this current one actually 3.6. I think it had a bit of a rework to it. Qlash though, I don't know if it's just Cyclone not understanding what to do, but Qlash's rotations right now are just on a completely different level. They're just continuing to extend their lead, use these opportunities to their advantage, and Cyclone at this point 10k gold behind. They just need to regroup, kind of reset, and get back on the same page for next game.
I do like what Wojo's doing, at least shoving this lane, trying to get gold and experience and avoid the pressure coming out from Qlash. Now, he does get caught up here a little bit. Look back over to Disowned as he just deletes the Reza off the map. This Moline is hitting like a freaking truck right now. Doesn't have to buy any defense. Disowned is just relying on positioning and applying damage.
He understands very well when to get in, when to get out. Leon making sure that Cyclone is unable to contest Solar Storm, connecting, but just a little bit too late. This could be the game-winning push out of Qlash if they execute it correctly.
And we'll see if they can close this one out. It'd probably be a 14-minute game if they can go on this push right here. Right now, I'm the Doom just chunking through, like breaking point stacks galore. Now, Aces High will connect over onto Young Novocaine. Can they take him down? Yes, they can. He didn't. Oh, Crucible was just like 1 second off their flash. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And they'll turn around. Silver Rayleigh trying to take some pot shots from the back lines, but his team is falling. So is his base. This feels quite bad, man, for Cyclone as they're getting just picked apart. And this should be the end of the game, just a matter of time as Qlash descends upon the Vein Crystal here, and a dominating show here in game 1.
Dominating indeed. Qlash looking very good, but with them not taking it very seriously, is that the preparation they need if they do move on in this tournament to face some of these higher caliber teams?
Wow, that was over quick. What? For a little bit higher caliber analysis, just kidding, Flash, because you're not on the desk, but over to Tasty Bacon and Munchables.
I mean, I called the support, but I'm not proud of it at this point. A dominant win for Qlash, as you would expect, with a bit of a troll pick in there as well, kind of flaunting, flexing a little bit on Cyclone there. Yeah. I mean, part of me just loves to see it anyway, because it's just so much more entertaining to see them kind of showing off how strong of a team they are.
Yeah, I mean, Qlash absolutely, like, we said that they were going to be the favorites in this matchup. You know, they're leaving pretty much no doubt in that game that they are the dominant team here. It's going to be a very interesting game number 2 to see if, you know, they continue on this trend, or if, you know, how things are going to shake up.
I think the phrase is uphill battle. Let's take a look at where we are in the bracket though right now. as we are going to be looking over towards the A quadrant up at the top left. It's Qlash versus Cyclone right now. The winner of this will be going up against Rising Lotus, who looked awesome earlier today. Right now, it looks like it's probably going to be Qlash, but if that does end up being the matchup, Qlash versus Rising Lotus, I am excited for that semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a very much a battle of differing styles. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves, even though, a lot of people I think probably are going to be and looking forward to that matchup, but we do have to, Qlash still have to finish it out. They still have to go ahead and take care of it. As we take a look at the Rockstar rewind of just how dominant Qlash has been.
Yeah, absolutely. This was against Great Invoxers, but just the sheer coordination in this team, like no matter what composition they're running, no matter what the situation is, they're able to just dominate these team fights. They always know what the goal is, but also just the players are not afraid to play alone either. That's one of the big things is they are happy to take 1v1s. They are happy to, if there's an opportunity to make a huge play, players like I'm the Doom and Leon, those two specifically, are more than willing to go and, even if they die, even if they lose that situation, they'll still do it again the next time. They'll still look for that highlight reel play. It can be a positive, it can be a negative. So far against the teams who've seen them, it's only been a positive.
Yeah, and they do a really good job of knowing that they can go for those plays. They're like recognizing, okay, I've just seen 3 of them on the map, like mid and bottom. There's one here.
Let's go
There's
for
a
this,
possibility
yeah.
of one other person showing up, but you know what? I don't think they're going to be here. Let's go in for the
2v1,
1v1.
easy peasy.
Yeah, even a 2v1, they're more than comfortable
And
with.
speaking of playstyle as well, we saw Leon tweeting during the week, kind of laying down the law for everyone, saying, if you're a laner in Vainglory, you need to play around the jungle, and if you're not, you're trolling. That's like an incredibly strong statement on how you should be playing.
The
and based
irony
on
of Leon
I know, yeah, saying someone else trolling.
is
I mean, make sure, let us know what you think of that statement, #VPL. Reply to him on Twitter as well. I want to see what his responses are. But, I mean, looking at game 1, this is a fair statement to make. Qlash were 100% in the jungle. They were taking every single buff they could. They were just completely controlling every part of the map. The lanes, they kind of just left. They were only in a lane if they were trying to push a turret.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes a lot of sense when you go and focus on the jungle. Like, you shouldn't completely ignore the lane, obviously, but if you go into the enemy jungle, you're not only denying gold away from your opponents, but you're also just getting bonus gold for yourself. You're getting leads for yourself, and you're just stifling what your opponents are able to do, because now, all of a sudden, they can't go past a certain point on the map without always being wary of someone from the enemy team being there to take them down.
And that's one of the big things as well about early turret takes as well, is you lose control of your half of the map. Once those tier 1 turrets are gone, you kind of lose control of both of your buffs at that stage, and it becomes very difficult to regain the grasp of your side of the jungle. That's where vision comes in, but that's where this kind of domination of the jungle will lead to those tier 1 turrets, and they'll lead to easier domination of the jungle later on in the game. We are into draft for game number 2 here. We are going to see Kensei banned away. Unsurprising first ban there. We'll see whether Qlash are actually going to ban heroes in draft number 2, because they didn't seem to care about it in draft number 1.
And they do make a ban this time around, so at least that's going to be changed up a little bit.
They might as well have not banned.
It gets it through a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
I would expect Ozo to maybe be the second ban here. But I mean, that's typically like the 2 bans that you do if you're just throwing away your bans. But like, keep in mind, obviously, yes, going with the no bans and then first picking Saw, like
you called it.
but like, there are actually some instances where you do want to throw away your bans, and you want to just leave power picks open. Don't think that's the case here, but I just want everyone to know, like, there are times where you'll see that, and it does have an actual reason behind it.
You are correct. There are situations for that. I don't want to give them credit where it's not due. This is not a strategic allow the bans through. This is a we don't need to ban against you guys, I feel like. Kinetic going to be the first pick here, and then we're going to see Samuel and Adagio locked in. I feel like there are a lot stronger picks for your first 2 picks when there's, out of all of the power picks, only Kensei was banned.
Yeah, I mean, are you really surprised?
No, I'm
that
not
they
surprised,
didn't take the power picks?
I have to try and analyze the draft, okay? That's my job.
Yeah, so it is going to be the Malian and Arden. So again, Cyclone.
I mean, it's a mega strong composition,
Like, given what they're being given, they are building a strong composition. It's just a matter of, is it going to, actually be enough in the end at the end of the day? But We'll see what Qlash decides to take. There's going to be Scarf, which, Scarf does do very well, but we haven't actually been seeing it as frequently. It's kind of, Scarf kind of fluctuates. If he's either super popular one week and then barely gets touched the next week. So it's one of those interesting heroes.
I think Scarf is incredibly strong right now. I think people have been not necessarily picking him out of not being strong, just out of personal preference. I think if you're good at Scarf, he's incredible. But if you're not so good at Scarf, I think things like the Celeste are an easier pick to be more effective.
You're going to be excited for this one here, as we do also get to see that Anka.
Yep, very true. Leon picking up the Anka as well.
Maybe going to look for that kill record.
Yeah, Leon deciding he doesn't want to play Captain anymore. Captain Saw was enough for one game, so he's going to go for... Well, actually, to be fair, he might just go Captain Anka. That would not surprise me in the slightest, but we'll have to wait and see.
The Kashka coming through, actually, on the side of Cyclone. We saw Kashka for the first time last week, and it did exceptionally well. So I don't know if it's going to be,
I've seen
again,
a couple of wins for Koshka and scrims as well. Some teams have been dabbling with the Koshka. I do think it is, honestly, an underrated pick right now. When you look at the damage it can do, if you get a couple of kills, you can roll a game. So, especially against a very squishy composition like Qlash has, maybe that could be what's required to take a win here. I mean, realistically, you got nothing to lose. Your back's against the wall, it's 1-0. Go for an off-the-wall pick. Go for something that, if you can snowball it, will win the game by itself.
Matt, and this is something that I've always preached, is that if you're a massive underdog, go for stuff that's off the wall. Just take whatever you're most comfortable with and just run that, see if you can make something happen. Again, no one is expecting Cyclone to take this game, but if you can find some way, just to even, if you just look strong in this showing, it feels good against a team like Qlash. So I really hope that we do see this Kashka actually get a little bit of momentum rolling early on, but I'm also really excited to see Leon on Anka.
Yeah, Leon on Anka, I hope he plays it carry. I really hope he plays it carry. We'll find out, though, as it's time to jump on into this game. We'll head on to Sovereign's Rise, game number 2 between Qlash and Cyclone. We'll see if Cyclone can battle their way back into this series. It's time for game number 2.
I hope everybody's ready for game 2 here in this series. My name is Humanist. I'm joined by FlashX, and we've got Qlash versus Cyclone. Qlash taking game 1 in an illegal dominating performance, not a combination you see all the time.
Qlash versus Cyclone Qlash. I like that. Leon on Anka, though, in game number 2. It's definitely unfortunate to see such a talented player not show a lot of respect for the game. Anka, though, certainly one of those heroes with a very, very high skill cap. Leon, such a mechanically gifted player that it could be a lot of room and opportunity for him to have a very impressive game and certainly create some of these highlight reel style plays that we're so used to seeing from him.
Yeah, Leon's starting to catch up to the top performers we saw back in 2016, Vaughn C level. And some players, it goes to their head right now, though. Qlash showing they do have the power to zone Noah out of his jungle. In fact, this is first blood right there. Oh, a little bit of love at the end as well.
Qlash understanding that their jungle is being invaded. They rotate up very to secure it. You gotta feel for Cyclone not having the start that they would have wanted after that game number 1. I'm sure with the kind of the dominating fashion that Qlash had, it's got to get inside your head. And it's hard to regroup and get yourself composed after a beatdown like that.
So if I could give any advice over to a team like this that was going up against something like a Sawport, you can beat that. It's actually not as strong as a lot of other things you could put in that position. But just like suppressing fire by itself early on in the game is actually pretty powerful. And that's how they made it work. They got into these engagements and they used those abilities. They worked early on. I think they should just avoid actual skirmishes, get some levels, get a couple items, and then actually fight around your composition.
Little ouch on this Kashka. Another one of these picks that we haven't seen too much thus far in the Summer Open. Gonna be interesting to see if he can make it work. He's got 4 crystal bits. That's gonna be a ton of damage for Kashka if he is able to get on some of these tanky, or squishy rather, backline carries like Scarf, like Samuel. But Qlash picking up a lot of damage of their own.
I haven't seen the kitty cat for a while. When's the last time you saw Koshka play?
I think we saw it in North America, maybe last weekend. I don't remember who played it. It might have been Archaic. Archaic had a monster Koshka in 3 versus 3. I don't really remember. Cyclone with a nice steal onto the Crystal Treant. They've got to feel pretty good about that one. Qlash just going back, securing the rest of their jungle. A little bit of a slower game compared to this game one. Only 1 kill going over to the side of Qlash. Early on, they're just continuing to secure a lot of their jungle. I'm the Doom on this scarf, though. It's a weapon scarf. Are we really getting a weapon scarf? Is it really just not going to be a Crystal Power scarf? Okay. I don't think that that's the move. Qlash, come on.
I mean, maybe he's just going to go for a couple tornado triggers and just show us how to play the game, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that that's necessarily how the game is meant to be played. Qlash certainly having some fun with it, but the question is, how much fun is too much fun? But if they could still continue to execute at this high level, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, that will be Grumpjaw finding the art in there. Young Novocaine's down. Looks like Wojo could be next. Drops into the shadows. Agony stays on target. Lee Louch, the couch moves in. He'll take down I'm the Doom. Look, he's a fast kitty. Go, go, go. Just man, does he get a self-heal and turn it? Nope, doesn't. Lee Louch takes 2. Agony's going to fall as well, and this will put Cyclone tied up 3-3, 4.5 minutes in here.
Scores tied. Qlash still holding on to that gold lead, though. When Leon picks up his Aftershock on this Anka, he's going to be looking for some serious burst damage. We saw in game 1 they didn't ban anything. Game 2 definitely throwaway bans. Qlash definitely wanting to leave as many power picks open as possible. Just getting a lot of these very mechanically gifted players onto these super dominant meta style hero picks. Potentially a viable strategy. Whether or not they're trolling, we'll never know unless they say so. But
we'll never know. You know, if the tension bow gets picked up for the scarf, I would know.
Yeah, that is fair, and he has the tension bow. So,
yeah. Like if he went straight crit, I'd be like, all right, this guy's legit. But
tension bow, I don't know if that's the move on the scarf. But you know, when you do have these very off meta non-conformist picks, sometimes it's hard to understand how to play against it. Cyclone just needed to keep their composure and try and scale up. Let this Maline pick up some nice damage in her kit, and then maybe she can take over this game.
That's what they need to do. Flash, you know, I don't like to play the fool, though, man. So I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is some nonsense coming out of the scarf over here. But they can do it. They feel like the better team. Dominated game 1 with the saw port. You know, I think would be more impressive is to beat your opponents in under 8 minutes. I think that would be a lot more impressive to watch, though. Right now, Qlash throwing out the Oblivion, kind of zoning back Cyclone. They split apart, 3 versus 4. But it looks like Cyclone hesitant to get in there, I think for good reason as well. There's a lot of regen and turnaround potential, and there's Leon jumping forward. He's on to Silver Relay. Silver Relay, one more attack might have gone down there. He does get himself out of that situation, though.
That was a great mark by Leon, not able to pick up the kill. Silver Relay has the Serpent's Mask regenning quite a bit before the engagement starts.
Noah almost ticking down. Like Noah almost dies to the weapon scarf in lane, and maybe it's just this is the way you just dominate your lane.
It is indeed. Louch on this Koshka. If you are playing such an early game dominant hero, you need to have a dominant early game. He's gonna get caught out of position and just absolutely obliterated.
At least he's trying to make something happen. I think that's what his team needs to do. Is you need to take resources away from your opponents, try to avoid Qlash, and to find these picks like solo if you can, or maybe if it's a 2 versus 1, someone's super low. But if that doesn't work out for him incredibly well. In fact, the Dance of Blades with the Shimmer, like it's very easy for Leon to proc off this Aftershock and apply damage here.
It is indeed. Ghost Wing online. Qlash, a little bit of a lead, but nothing that they have really extended like they did in game 1. Disowned having a great game on Samuel. Yet again, he's got the Spellfire. He's definitely taking it seriously. He's trying to do what he can to make sure his team has as clean of a victory as possible. Justman frontlining really well up against this Maline in the mid lane with a little bit of back and forth.
Disown did say in the lobby chat, he said, you know, I'm sorry if anybody is disappointed that there was trolling happening. The rest of the team is still trying our best. And you can definitely tell in his play, like game 1, just dominating Fulls, game 2, straight back to it.
I'm the Doom, succumbing to the troll though on this weapon power scarf. I'm not a fan, but you know, it's hard when you do have these convincing wins. Cyclone doing what they can to pressure this mid lane turret. Weapon power scarf coming in hot though.
Coming in hot, dude. The memes. Just Man booting into position. Looks like he's gonna get the heal off. Louch goes. Oh my goodness, 320 damage. How do you get away from that? It's too intense. Leon will go ahead and split himself apart there, trying to a little bit of damage and reposition himself. He will do so effectively. Agony late to the party. Oblivion comes down. We'll find one, but quickly Arden with the Vanguard allows Wojo to keep himself alive and in fighting shape. Qlash just kind of applying pressure consistently. 9 minutes in, 6-3. They have the net worth advantage, and it feels like they're kind of just one step ahead here consistently.
They definitely understand Vainglory at a very high. Some of these compositions and pull off the things that they are. You have to be very knowledgeable and understand the game at a very high level. I would really rather see them just have these quick, clean, concise games. Leon going in hot though.
Leon getting some nice spread damage out there. Cyclone forced back. Agony stuffed up as Noah falls. It's going to be very quickly Lee Louch sitting down. He's going to watch Silver Ray lay and take a lot of damage as well. That's going to be boots on cooldown. 140-second cooldown. You know, I talk about it, but those boots being on cooldown, that is a very long time to not have those active.
Definitely is, and definitely just an active that you want in these fights to be able to reposition, engage, disengage. Is going to be something that hopefully he upgrades to level 2 here very, very quickly. As Qlash continues to extend their lead, I would really prefer to see them just go for the go swing. They haven't pulled the trigger just quite yet. Cyclone does have the cam on it, so if they do look for it, maybe they look for a little bit of a counter engage style play. It's tough. It's hard to watch at this point as this game ticks on.
All right, Flash. Let's play a game here. A little role playing. Well, let's role play Leon. Is he gonna get out? Looks like so. They block off the sun. Wow. Did they turn this around? Don't turn this around. Leon jumps back in. Somebody kill this man. He's just trolling you. But what if you are Cyclone? If we can have a moment here, you're playing Arden. You're captain of this team. Like, you're captain in game. You're captain in real life. How do you control this team and try to take the victory against Qlash?
You need to get everyone to group up. They're playing really split apart right now, even though Qlash is doing a great job when these numbers advantage engagements do happen. You have the gauntlet online. You have a lot of strength here in this early game. I mean, Koshka has the Shatterglass. It's a ton of damage. If you can get everyone to just group up and try and force one of these engagements, that's what you need to try and do to turn things around. They are going to be able to pick up a turret here in this top lane, which, as far as a moral victory goes, has to feel pretty good. But it's also going to open up the door for Qlash to just secure this Ghost Wing. And I'm the Doom on this Weapon Power Scarf. Going ham. Grace trying to find the save. Not going to be enough, though.
Not going to be enough as Arden drops to his knees. What I really like is that Cyclone have avoided this drama down on the bottom half of the map. They take 2 turrets up in the top side. And this is great for them. This is exactly what they needed there. Now, Leon, 2 versus 1 situation. He'll go ahead and get himself back, but the stun does land. Stun into double stun. Is it enough heals? Just Man's here. No, Just Man winds up for the verse. Will find the 2-man stun, but Agony just dropping the hammer. He will find the return kill. Lee Louch will sit down for 20 seconds or so. Noah gets canceled off. We'll go ahead and board back home, but Leon going a little bit too far, getting punished for that one.
Definitely not understanding his boundaries well enough, and certainly punished for it indeed. Blacklaw online. Qlash with this Ghost Wing buff still. Hopefully will look to go for that objective. But they're just going to push out their lanes, which is definitely a good way to set things up. But yeah, the Scarf, he's got the Tension Bow, he's got the Sorrow Blade, he's got the Tornado Trigger. even though it's a scarf, he's still going to be hitting like quite the truck.
Yeah, there's a lot of items being picked up, and it looks like Gauntlet comes down. Beautiful play out of Cyclone. Not even gonna play-by-play that one because they just popped 2 heroes. Just Man and Disown now. 5 versus 3. How about you go get some? Who are they on? Leon. Leon gets destroyed immediately. Now onto Agony. Cyclone. They're moving in like a hot storm right here. Agony looks like he will go down. Nice heal onto Qlash. They take him down now. I'm the Doom. Show us what this weapon. You know what? A regular Scarf would have been just dropping Spitfires and Goop combos and would have got a pentakill right there. But Cyclone take the ace. In your face, Qlash. 9 to 10, 13 and a half minutes in. They're going to move in for the Black Claw and maybe some more.
Feel Cyclone, man. That's the way to turn things around. Not only is that a huge swing as far as gold goes, that's got to feel super good as far as their mental confidence goes. Picking up some big items, picking up that Black Claw. Koshka with that Broken Myth now going to be able to shred some of these super squishy backline carries like we saw in that last fight. Qlash getting punished. Hopefully Cyclone able to capitalize on this.
Qlash in 500 damage immediately as Scarf attacks him 1 time. They still got to play this careful. Wojo, a lot of damage. Leon is in onto target. Looks like Wojo able to avoid a lot of that damage. The verse comes out. Not a huge verse, but this is Cyclone being forced back. Qlash jumps on in. He'll take down Anka. Anka took down the Maline. It's a 1-for-1 trade now, 10 to 11. Blacklaw still hammering on that T2 turret. Looks like the turret will go down. And with Cyclone out, Blacklaw will as well. So Cyclone look to take a couple of camps off of the map, but yeah, they're still not very far, but they're definitely behind, but they're pulling themselves into the game.
Yeah, they've even upped this kill deficit quite well. The gold deficit shrunk from about 10k down to 5k. I mean, hopefully that's something that they're paying attention to and that can definitely work out in their favor. Ghostwing online, Cyclone having to recall. I don't think Qlash is necessarily in a position to just go straight for it. So they're not going to be punished too hard for it, but if Cyclone continues to execute the way they've been executing these last couple of minutes, things might look really good for them.
I was seeing that it looks like Koshka, this is the 4th Koshka we've had in the VPL Summer Open thus far. She had 2 losses and 1 win so far.
So things definitely not looking very good in Koshka's favor. Qlash popping the war treads to try and catch out Wojo Dojo. He's in trouble though.
Wojo Dojo avoiding a lot of that damage. Can this team collapse down here? He's staying alive. Divine Intervention keeps him alive a little bit longer. It's still not enough. Maline's down. Now what are you going to do, young Novocaine? Just shoot yourself up with some Novocaine because that pain is too much to handle right now. Qlash, don't lose anybody. They don't even have significant damage applied to anybody at all.
Super good map awareness out of the side of Qlash, realizing that Maline is just way too far out of position, why she wasn't with her team. We may never know. I'm sure she wished she could have that one back, but yeah, when you are a carry like this, you can't get caught out that much, and Qlash certainly punishing them for it. They now have the Ghost Wing buff in their hands. I'm sure that they're going to look to apply a little bit of pressure to this mid lane turret.
All right, Qlash, what are you going to do? I wouldn't be surprised to see I'm the Doom just sell all of his items and just decide to go split build or something like that. All right, War Tread's in, looking for a target. Leon's in. I'll go ahead and Mirage himself out of that situation, in and out. That's where I really like Anka. That's a really fun hero to just kind of like be so elusive through these fights.
I'm the Doom, even though his build is very, very much a troll build, he is still gonna hit like an absolute truck. Sorrow Blade double tornado trigger is no joke.
Yeah, dude, he just deleted the Grace. They're looking for more. Maline's second to fall, and this looks like this game's over. Leon's in to clean up the 3rd kill of that fight, and 17 minutes in, significant 9k net worth advantage. Qlash is just playing with their food at this point. They're on stream. They are being cool kids. They'll take another kill there, juggle a little bit of turret damage, and hopefully push very soon.
Black Claw, about 10 seconds until it's back online. Hopefully we see Qlash for it, go for it very, very quickly. This team definitely continuing to scale up even further. Leon picking up those journey boots. He's going to be looking for these flashy Anka plays, mid turret falling at the hands of I'm the Doom and Justman. Qlash looking to press out all three of their lanes, bot, top, and mid. That's going to be a great setup for this Black Claw. We do see Justman picking up the Rook's Decree. Definitely going to give his team those barriers in these team fights now. And it does look like the early game aggression and damage that Cyclone had built up is going to be falling off here very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think it fell off a cliff a couple minutes ago, and they don't have any ropes to pull themselves back up right now. Unless Qlash throw them one, you know? Qlash throw a rope down there. Maybe we'll see Cyclone come back. I think that's about 99-1.
Hey, they've thrown them a rope before. It's still in their bag of trips. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. With the Black Claw released in this mid lane, Cyclone needs to find some recalls, reset, get together, figure out exactly how they want to mount this engagement. Lelouch on this Koshka needs to find a great yummy catnip frenzy, catch someone out of control, out of position, and if they can pick up a kill early on in this team fight, that might be the opening they need to get back in here. But if it happens, it'll be hard to tell.
Disowned pretty much took everything in the kitchen sink. He will eventually go down here. Qlash is gonna look to go ahead and kite back a little bit. Young Noah, Kane, and Noah jumping onto the Scarf, but they just turn it around. Scarf hammers it down onto Noah. Blackclaw onto the Armory at this point. Qlash only losing their Samuel, still feeling pretty healthy at this point. Leon either disconnected or just really trolling out at this point, sitting in the lane, not participating with his team. Looks like Armory should fall. This is gonna be close. No, Blackclaw drops. Armory stays alive.
I think Leon's still there. I don't think he disconnected. I don't think he's showing any respect to that of a Cyclone. I don't think he's showing any respect to that of Vainglory this season open. Unfortunately, Cyclone showing respect for the game, letting him live. Hats off to them, especially when you're in a deficit at this point. But they need to kill him so that their wave pushes eventually. Otherwise, the minions are just going to do it for him. But with Ghostwing back online, it does look like Leon is moving now again. We might see Cyclone try and go for a Ghostwing capture.
Yeah, they found Disowned here in the jungle. Yummy Catnip Frenzy is blocked off. Agony's there, chunking out some nice damage. Now Disowned. He's out of the Drifting Dark, but he's got some damage in that Malice and Verdict. We'll go ahead and force Cyclone back. There's an opportunity for Cyclone to maybe find a pick there for themselves. Won't find anything, though, and pretty much the same situation they found themselves in prior.
A little bit of back and forth. I'm the Doom on the Scarf, split pushing in this top lane, forcing Cyclone to at least send a couple back to base. Qlash looking to get engaged in this bottom jungle, though.
See how this is going to play out. All right. Lelouch blown up. Qlash move forward. Young Novocaine should be a second easy kill. Now Maline getting bursts down. Do they have enough follow-up there? The Divine Intervention keeps Maline alive for now, but Disowned. This is my Drifting Dark. This is my Malice and Verdict. Verse comes out, so zone for the team. Justman doing a good job. They do turn it around. Smash Leon down into the dirt. Young Novocaine dropping the gauntlet, but Scarf hangs out on the backside of that wall. Nice damage coming out here, and it looks like this is Cyclone just being slowly picked apart. Should be the end coming up very quickly in this game.
It should be coming up quickly indeed. Hopefully Qlash pulls that trigger. Justman, I am sure he's trying to just end the game. This Ghostwing buff might be the opportunity they need to just close it out. Disowned dealing a ton of damage on the Samuel. As long as they can just group up, get together, push out these lanes, Qlash should be able to close out this game no problem.
Is there anything else to break down in this game? I don't really have any play-by-play right now. These guys.
This is an interesting one. That's for sure. There's not a whole lot of analysis.
I mean, okay, I've got one of the best people to talk about this in the game, and this is like, you know, no shots fired, but you found yourself in this position before, right?
Yeah, we have. I mean, there's definitely games where you are much more advanced and higher skilled than this other team. The scout cam, yeah, that's the engagement that Qlash needed.
Nope. Qlash on to target here. Let's see what Cyclone can do. Not much thus far. Grumjaw in. Grumjaw's got one, looking for Maleen. That's going to be the second one to fall. They lose nobody. Now, Dragon's Breath, with all this weapon power, should just melt down. Look at that. Wasn't even in range, but took down the Arden. So much weapon power, the Scarf. You can't stop him right here. 24 and 13, 23 minutes, and an impressive victory. I've never seen a game end in such a short amount of time here. It's very impressive out of Qlash.
Yeah, they're definitely a mechanically dominant team, but again, not taking it seriously, not showing a whole lot of respect. That's something that can definitely come back to haunt them. Certainly when you go up against a team like Queso later on, but they will be moving into the semifinals.
All right, well, congratulations to Qlash, proving that they are the more dominant team here. Cyclone's out of it, and so am I. I'll go ahead and throw this back over to the analyst desk to break it down.